Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of 3 of February 2024. Essence. Sweet children, may you be spinners of the discus of self-realization. You have to become lighthouses. Consider yourselves to be souls. Don't be careless about this. Question. How are you the most wonderful students? Answer. You live at home with your families and you work for 8 hours for the livelihood of your bodies. However, together with that, to provide for your future 21 births, you also do 8 hours of service to make others equal to the Father. While doing everything, you remember your home and the Father. This is your wonderful student life. This knowledge is very easy. You simply make effort to become pure. Om Shanti. The Father says to you children, number-wise, according to the efforts you make. You must also remember the incorporeal world number-wise. You children must also remember that originally, you are residents of the land of peace, and that you then go to the land of happiness. You probably understand this internally. It is also in your intellects how this world cycle turns from the time you come down from the incorporeal world. At this time we are Brahmins, then we will become deities, warriors, merchants, and then Sudras. Your intellect should rotate this cycle. You children have all of this knowledge in your intellects. The Father has explained this to you. Previously you didn't know. Now only you know this. Day by day the number of you will continue to grow. You continue to teach many others. Certainly you will become spinners of the discus of self-realization first. While you are sitting here, your intellects know that He is your Father. He is also the supreme teacher who teaches us. He has explained to us how we go around this cycle of 84 births. Your intellects would definitely remember this. Your intellects have to remember this at every moment. This is not a big lesson. It is a lesson of a second. It enters your intellects where you are residents of and how you then come here to play your parts. This is a cycle of 84 births. In the golden age there are this many births. In the silver age there are this many births. You do remember this cycle, do you not? Your intellects would definitely remember the positions you received and the parts you played. You would say that you were double crowned and that you then became those with single crowns. You then lost the whole kingdom and became Tamopradhan. This cycle has to turn. This is why you are called spinners of the discus of self-realization. The soul has received knowledge. The soul has had a vision. The soul knows that he has been around the cycle in this way and that he now has to go home. The Father has said, remember me and you will reach your home. It isn't that you are sitting in that stage now. No, many outside things enter your intellects. Some would be remembering one thing and others would be remembering something else. Here the Father says, merge all other things and only remember the one. You have to follow the Srimad that you receive. You have to become spinners of the discus of self-realization and make effort till the end. Previously you didn't know anything. Now the Father is telling you, by remembering Him, you come to know everything. All the secrets of the Creator and the beginning, the middle and the end of creation enter your intellects. You are taught these lessons. You can remember him at home too. This is something to be understood with your intellects. You are wonderful students. The father has explained you may rest for 8 hours and work for the livelihoods for your bodies for 8 hours. You also have to do that business, etc. Together with that, the business that the Father has given you of making others the same as yourselves is also for your livelihoods. Those are for a temporary period, whereas those livelihoods are for your bodies for 21 births. This too has great importance in the parts you play. However much effort someone makes, he is accordingly worshipped later on the path of devotion. You children have to imbibe all of this. You children are actors. Baba simply plays the part of giving this knowledge. However, you do have to make effort for the livelihood of your bodies. Baba will not do that. The Father comes to explain to you how the history and geography of this world repeat and how the cycle turns. He just comes to explain this. He continues to explain it tactfully. The Father explains, children, don't be careless about anything. Become spinners of the discus of self-realization and lighthouses. Consider yourselves to be souls. You know that a soul cannot play his part without a body. People don't know anything at all. Although they come to you and say that this is good, they cannot become spinners of the discus of self-realization. You have to practice this a lot here. Then wherever you go, you will become like oceans of knowledge. It is just as when students study and then become teachers and teach in colleges or occupy themselves in business. Your business is to become teachers and make everyone into spinners of the discus of self-realization. Some children have made a picture of how the kings with a double crown become kings with a single crown, and that is fine. But from when to when did they have a double crown? From when to when did they become those with a single crown? Then when and how was their kingdom snatched away from them? You should write those dates. This is a big, unlimited drama. It is certain that you are once again becoming deities. You are now Brahmins. Only Brahmins belong to the confluence age. No one will know this until you tell them. This is your alaukic birth. You receive an inheritance from the Laukic and the Parlaukic. You cannot receive an inheritance from the alaukic. The Father gives you the inheritance through this one. It is sung, O Prabhu, brackets God. It is never said, O Prajapita Brahma. You remember your Laukic fathers and the Parlaukic father. No one else knows these things. You know them, you receive the imperishable inheritance from the Parlaukic father and perishable inheritances from your Laukic fathers. Someone may be a child of a king and receive an inheritance of 5 million. However, if you put the inheritance you receive from the unlimited Father in front of you, you would say that in comparison to that other one, this inheritance is finished. This inheritance is imperishable. Whereas that one will finish. Maya clings to the millennials of today. They will not come here. The Father is the Lord of the poor. Bharat is very poor. Many people in Bharat are poor. You are now making effort to bring benefit to many. Generally, those who are ill have disinterest. They think life is not worth living. Let me find such a path that I can go to the land of liberation. They ask for liberation in order to be liberated from suffering in the golden age. They don't ask for anything because there is no suffering there. You understand these things now. The number of Baba's children will continue to grow. Only those who are to become the sun and moon dynasty deities will come and take this knowledge number wise, according to the efforts they make. No one except the Father can give you this knowledge. You will now not leave the unlimited Father and go anywhere else. Those who love the Father can understand that this knowledge is very easy. But it is in your becoming pure that Maya causes obstacles. If you are careless about anything, you are defeated by that carelessness. The example of boxing is a good comparison to make. In boxing, each one tries to beat the other. You children know that Maya defeats you. The Father says, "Sweet children, consider yourselves to be souls." The Father himself understands that effort is required for this. The Father shows you an easy method. I am a soul, I will shed this body and take another one to play my part. You have to make it very firm that you are the children of the unlimited Father. Baba feels that Maya breaks your intellect's yoga. It is number wise. The kingdom is created on this basis. If everyone were to be the same, there would be no kingdom created. Kings, queens, wealthy ones, and subjects are all to be created. No one apart from you knows these things. We are establishing our own kingdom. Amongst you also only the special beloved ones remember these things. These things should never be forgotten. You children know that you forget. Otherwise, there would be a lot of happiness in knowing that you are becoming the masters of the world. You can only become that by making effort, not just by speaking about it. As soon as Baba comes here, he asks, "Children, be cautious. Are you sitting here as spinners of the discus of self-realization?" The Father, who is also the spinner of the discus of self-realization, enters this one. People think that Vishnu is a spinner of the discus of self-realization. They don't know that he, brackets Vishnu, is Lakshmi and Narayan, who gave them knowledge through which they received the status of Lakshmi and Narayan. They show him, brackets Sri Krishna, killing people with a discus of self-realization. You are amused by those who make those pictures. Vishnu is the symbol of the combined family ashram. The image is good, but it is not a correct image. Previously, you didn't know that. How could someone with 4 arms come here? You also know these things, number wise. The Father says everything depends on the efforts you make. Your sins are cut away by having remembrance of the Father. This effort has to be the maximum number 1. The Father has given you time. You have to live at home with your families. Otherwise, who would look after your children, etc.? You have to practice this while doing everything. However, there isn't anything else. They have portrayed Sri Krishna killing the devils, Akasur and Bakasur, etc., with the discus of self-realization. You now understand that there is no question of a discus, etc. There is so much difference. Only the Father explains this. Human beings cannot explain to human beings. Human beings cannot grant salvation to human beings. None of them are able to explain the secrets of the Creator or the beginning, the middle, and the end of creation. Only the Father has explained to you the meaning of the discus of self-realization. They have written such stories in the scriptures, don't even ask. They have shown deities to be violent. Here you have to churn the ocean of knowledge in solitude. It is a very good time for those who do security duty at night. They can have a lot of remembrance. While remembering the Father, also continue to spin the discus of self-realization. If you stay in remembrance while in happiness, you will even lose your sleep out of happiness. Those who receive wealth remain very happy. They would never nod off. You know that you are becoming ever healthy and wealthy. So you should occupy yourselves in this very well. The father knows that according to the drama, whatever happens is fine. He still continues to inspire you to make effort. The father is now giving you teachings. There are many who neither have knowledge nor yoga. If an intellectual person or a scholar, etc., comes, they would not be able to speak to him. Serviceable children know who the good ones are and who are good at explaining to others. Then, when the father also sees that the one who has come is an intellectual, well educated, good person, but that the one who is explaining is a Buddha, he can intervene and uplift that person. So, true children would say that they didn't have enough knowledge, but that the father sat and explained to that one. Some people become arrogant. For him to come and help is fixed in the drama as his part. The drama is unique. A very broad and unlimited intellect is needed to understand it. You children know that you are now establishing that kingdom in which everyone is beautiful. There is no one ugly there. You can also make a picture and write ugly and beautiful. By sitting on the pyre of lust for 63 births, you have become so ugly. Souls have become that. They have even made an ugly image of Lakshmi and Narayan. People don't understand that it is souls that become ugly. They were the masters of the golden age. They were beautiful, and then by sitting on the pyre of lust, they became ugly. The souls take rebirth and become tamopradhan. So the souls become ugly and the bodies become ugly. You can jokingly ask them why have they shown Lakshmi and Narayan as beautiful in some places and ugly in others. What is the reason for that? They don't have any knowledge. Why do they make a beautiful image of Sri Krishna and then an ugly image of Sri Krishna? At this time, you know that each of you has now received a third eye of knowledge. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharana number 1. In order to remain full of happiness, sit in solitude and churn the wealth of this knowledge that you have received. In order to become pure and constantly free from disease, make effort to stay in remembrance. Second, become a master ocean of knowledge like the Father and make everyone into a spinner of the discus of self-realization. Become a lighthouse. In order to earn for the livelihood of your body for your future 21 births, definitely become a spiritual teacher. Blessing, may you be master knowledgeful and clearly experience all three aspects of time with your Trikaldarshi stage. Those who remain stable in the Trikaldarshi stage can clearly see the three aspects of time in a second. What was I yesterday? What am I today? What will I be tomorrow? All of that is clear in front of such souls. When you stand at the highest point of a city and look down, you can enjoy looking down on the whole city. In the same way, the confluence is the top point. Stand on this peak and look at all three aspects of time and say with a sparkle of intoxication, I was a deity and I will become that once again. This is called being master knowledgeful. Slogan, every moment is the final moment. Be ever ready with this awareness. Slogan, every moment is the final moment. Be ever ready with this awareness. Om Shanti.